Hello, wizards, witches, and everyone in between. My name is Emma, and welcome to my Book Junkie Trials TBR. Alright, so the Book Junkie Trials runs the entire month of July, and July is going to be a crazy month for me. I'm moving about 2 hours away from where I'm living right now, so I think there's just the right amount of challenges that I think I can successfully complete in the month of July. So I took the quiz and I am an outlaw. Wow! From what the statistics show, there aren't that many of us. So if you're an outlaw as well, please let me know. We need to team up because we can do this thing. I am just gonna do the 5 basic challenges. I'm not gonna go above and beyond and do the whole like quest thing because that's unrealistic. July is gonna be crazy. So the first prompt is Crimson Peaks. These peaks are about to blow. Reread a favorite to soothe them into dormancy. For this, I'm gonna go with my favorite book of all time, and that is The Hours by Michael Cunningham. I have reread this probably 3 or 4 times, but I haven't read it in at least 2 years. And this is the perfect excuse for me to reread it. This book is very difficult to summarize, but basically, the book Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. Great book. That book is about a lady, Mrs. Dalloway, who realizes that she wants more from her life than what society is telling her she should be doing. So this guy, Michael Cunningham, took that story and wrote this book called The Hours that is from 3 perspectives from 3 women of 3 different time periods. So you have Virginia Woolf is a character in this, and it's while she is writing Mrs. Dalloway, and then you have a housewife in the 1950s who is the one in the middle on this book, and she isn't really wanting to be a housewife. She's very depressed. They're all very depressed. There's a lot of mental health stuff in here. And then you have Clarissa, who is nicknamed Mrs. Dalloway by somebody, and she's kind of living the life that Mrs. Dalloway is living in the Virginia Woolf book, if that makes any sense. And her storyline takes place in 1990s New York. There's LGBT rep in this book. There's chronic illness rep in this book. It's my favorite book, so very excited to reread this. The next prompt is Queendom Stone, the stone of our royal majesty. What are the royal customs of other lands? Read a book featuring royalty. So for this, I'm going to read Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey mcquiston. Have heard great things about this. All I know is that it has LGBT rep, it has a hate to love trope, I think, and one main character is the son of the President of the United States, and the other one is a prince. That's all I know, but I'm very excited. I haven't been this excited to read a contemporary in forever. I'm just in such a contemporary mood, so it's gonna be good. Next is The Forgotten Forest. Sorry, I'm reading off of this in case you're wondering what I'm looking at. All these open series. The forest knows and feels your forgetfulness. The forest knows a lot then, because I forget the plot of books like 2 days after I finish them. It will sing a mournful lament, tormenting you until you read the next in a series. So this is kind of gonna be my big book for this month. So I try to keep the other ones fairly short, or what I thought would be quick reads at least. So for this prompt, I'm going to read A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. This is the second book in the, is it just the Court of Thorns and Roses series? I think so. Anyway, I read A Court of Thorns and Roses in early June, and I really enjoyed it. So, and everyone says that this one is better than A Court of Thorns and Roses, so I'm very excited. It is a chunker though. I did not know that it was so thick. It's a thick boy. This is my big book for the month. And I'm not really gonna talk about this since it's the sequel, and I'm sure all of you have heard of A Court of Thorns and Roses. Alright, the 4th prompt is The Weeping Falls. To pass through the rapids unscathed, you must give to the falls. Read a tearjerker. And I don't think I have many on my shelves, and it's hard to know what's a tearjerker until you've read it. I don't know if I rarely ever cry at books, so I just went with one that I know is sad, and I feel like this one might make me cry when it doesn't make most people cry. That is Animal Farm by George Orwell. This is one of the classics that I have not read yet and I would really like to read. I have read 1984 and I really enjoyed it, and yeah, this has just been on my shelf for a very, very long time. All I know about this is it's a satire, political commentary, and animals are anthropomorphized. Is that the right word? Anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. So, one of the reasons why I picked this one specifically is because it is so short. Like I said, I want to be realistic about what I can read. It's only 128 pages, so. But I'm very excited. It has been on my radar since high school, so I'm finally gonna get to it. So the last challenge is the Bookie Grail, and that is to read the Readathon's group book, which is Stardust by Neil Gaiman. And I have already read Stardust. I think I read it 2 years ago or a year ago, and I enjoyed it, but I don't own it. I think if I owned it, I would probably reread it, but one of the special abilities that an outlaw has is they can steal a book from someone else's TBR for this readathon and count it towards any challenge they want. So I'm going to steal someone else's book. I was creeping on the Twitter page for the book Junkie trials, looking at the TBRs that were being retweeted, and I found someone's TBR. I'm not gonna say their username because I don't know them. I don't have any mutuals with them, and I think they're fairly young, and I don't know, I want to leave them be, you know? But they are reading the illustrated edition of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and I started reading this, I think 2 years ago or 3 years ago when I got it for Christmas, but I never actually finished reading it, and I have been meaning to reread the series for a very long time, and this is the perfect excuse to start on it again. We love Harry Potter in this house, so I'm gonna steal this from them and I'm gonna count it as like the group book challenge. Alright, those are the books that I'm reading for this readathon. I'm very excited. July is gonna be stressful, and I really like to read like cozy books when I'm feeling stressed, and for me, the hours, like reading my favorite book always makes me feel all cozy, and so does Harry Potter, so I think this TBR is going to be perfect for me. If you are participating in the Book Junkie trials, let me know down below, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!